Is there any way we can bail on this, Paul?
No, we're here.
We, are you,
Are you in one of those moods? Come on now, Jack. This is fun.
I know, but in preparing,
I mean, let's be honest. What else do you have to do today? What are
well,
you
that's a
gonna
good point. But in preparing for the producers podcast, I was like, and I know it's season 2, episode 2, which got everyone into a big tizzy when we got into season 2.
Yeah.
But I'm thinking, am I really in the mood for a little fun and frivolity?
I would hope so. I mean, what are you going to do? Go outside and tell people to get off your lawn? Oh, you don't have a lawn.
2 things. I don't have a lawn, but B, I love doing that. You kids get off my lawn. Oh yeah, I don't have a lawn. So now what I do is I'll say, you kids get out of that pool. Stop making so much racket.
You must be so happy that they've called off Halloween because now they're not knocking on your door.
Well, Halloween I can do without. I'm going to miss Thanksgiving, and I'm definitely going to miss Christmas, but I think somehow by that time, hopefully we'll be on the other end of this COVID crap.
Yeah, I hope so.
Yeah. Well, listen, he's Paul Joseph. I'm Jack Silver. It's the Producers Podcast. There's a couple of radio, television producers who figured we got 30 minutes to kill. So
we got stuff to talk about.
And we're funny, Paul.
Yeah, we think so.
Well, I think that's all that counts. So
if we're amusing ourselves, hopefully it amuses other people as well.
We do have a chock-filled half hour for him. And we like, in addition to Karen of the Week, some Headstones, the Emmys, little NFL talk. But we always like to start out because, Tall Paul, I don't know how you do it. I don't know how you keep all the plates spinning in the air like the Ed Sullivan Show from 1962.
What a reference.
Kind of an old reference.
Yeah.
Well, you're a busy bee. Let's just say that.
Yeah.
And over the weeks of the podcast, you've had some pool remodeling. You've had a variety of things going on. I was just wondering for the listener, anything new out there at the Joseph Casa?
Yeah. Wished you wouldn't have asked, but since you did, you might even hear the sawing in the background. Hear that?
Who's doing the sawing?
Okay. I was talked into remodeling the kitchen. And I mean talked into it because I know what it's like to get something remodeled to start with. But when it's your kitchen, and all of a sudden, now in the last week, I've lost my sink, the ability to use the washing, the dishwasher.
Oh boy.
The cooktop is gone. I went in, that's off and unhooked. And so what I basically had to do is clear the animals out of the porch area.
Yeah.
Sanitize that, turn it into a kind of a make-fest type situation where we've got a microwave, we've got some other things there, and a little sink.
You've moved the whole kitchen outside.
The production's outside. Yeah. So, I mean, hot water, like I'm got right here, is a commodity because what I have to do, I have a barbecue and I've got a burner on it.
Yeah.
And so everything that gets cooked is on that burner. And I'm literally out there at night in the dark, and I'm heating hot water for tea, and I'm doing hot water for pasta. Whatever it is goes on that one single burner on that barbecue. I mean, it is horrendous.
Well, good news is, I'm sure the good news in this story is that the guys who are doing the kitchen remodel, they're probably right on agenda. I'm sure that
I would have sprayed that water, but it would have hit my my computer.
Right, because they'll say, okay, Paul, we got the kitchen sink ready to go. We'll be ready to lock in this, and they give you a time.
It's kind of like clockwork. Yeah. So far, just to give you an idea.
Yeah.
The sink was supposed to be here 2 days ago.
Yeah.
So it didn't show. So they couldn't map out the schematically where it goes and how it gets in and all that. So that postpones this whole thing another week. So now we're into the first week of October before this will be completed. So
Isn't that crazy?
That sink is late, it pushes the production back quite a bit of time, And then on top of that, my dog, who's crazy, she's a Australian Shepherd, love her to death, but she can't stop moving and chewing. She chewed up their blueprints last night. I went out back and this pile of paper, and I start trying to piece it together, and it's so chewed you can barely see, but you can see all these detailed markings of the cabinet size and everything,
Yeah.
So all I could do is I put it in a little pile. I put it up on our table, and I left. I didn't talk to him today.
That's like that old joke, the dog ate my homework. So now these guys in the stretch this crap out.
Yeah.
Well, listen, keep us posted on that. We love, I mean, the Joseph House.
Oh boy,
It's
never
a
stops.
nonstop whirling dervish.
Yeah, it really is.
All right. Well, let's keep going.
You got
all right.
Karen for us?
Well, as we've talked about over the weeks, you know, these people, this is a group, Karen. These people who are anti-masks, well, everything, you know, and they're just trying to make their racket heard amongst the din of the COVID-19. So let me see if I can get this one up for you.
Okay.
Because I saw this on Twitter and I'm thinking inappropriate behavior for sure. So let's.
I don't understand this mask thing. Everything has gone down since more people are wearing masks. And
okay, you see this?
What do we got?
Are you seeing it? Okay, so this is anti-maskers in Florida invading a Target. So,
oh Lord,
take off your mask. We're young people.
What is wrong with people? I mean, they have nothing else to do but this. They're doing a TikTok for, you know, that they want to show, but it's the wrong thing to do. It's stupid.
Led by a Karen.
Yeah.
And her ilk. And my point on this whole thing, Paul, is this. If you don't want to wear a mask and you're one of those people who thinks that you're insurmountable or whatever the word is, you can't get the COVID, right, feel free. But don't go traipsing through a Target store with a group of young people and roust everybody out of their skin. If you follow me on that, all I'm saying is I just thought that was like so inappropriate. Look, I know there's this big divide, and you and I have talked about it.
Yeah.
Can't we all just get along? That's out the window. What's
I mean, Jack, let's say I was a physician, a doctor, a surgeon. Okay, I'm a surgeon, and I'm not saying I'm not, but let's say I am. And I tell you, I'm going to operate on you, but I say, I've decided I don't wear a mask.
I'd be out of there.
You would, right?
Well, yeah.
Why? Why would you be out of there?
Well, because if you're operating on me and you might have some COVID, what if you cough? Again, I think
well, even if it's not COVID, it's just the idea that it's not sterile, right?
Thank you. So,
okay, so what, I don't get the sense these people that don't want to wear a mask, it's not helping anybody do anything except ourselves. You know, it's making us healthy, letting us get back to our work, our offices, right, our lives, right, our football, baseball games.
Yeah.
I don't get it. So doctors decide they don't want to wear masks. I mean, what are you going to do? You know?
Yeah. Like I said, they've got to stop it, and they've got to stop it today. Yeah. If you don't want to wear your mask, sister, you and your little band of merry men, just don't go into the Target. It's fine.
Yeah, how'd they get by the greeter? You know, there's usually an 85 to 90-year-old greader.
Oh, he couldn't make a move.
How did they slink by him?
Well, he was probably sleeping in the corner. And they just slid.
Yeah, but normally they are sleeping, but you will trip over their body as you try to get by.
Right.
So, you know, I don't know how they did that, but that's
good. So now you got groups of Karens, you know, parading around with their crap. And so again, that's one of the reasons I'm, you know, a little surlier, more surly than normal. It's just,
okay, Karen kind of teed you off.
How many days, Paul? How many weeks do we have to go through before everyone goes, look, for the betterment of the country, this is what we're going to do for now. And by the way, if you don't want to do it, if you want to go to Sturgis, South Dakota, or wherever that is, and you want to go in a super spreader event or an event in Nevada indoors, knock yourself out. But the truth is, the smarter people, it appears, and I know we're not supposed to be political, but let's all pitch in.
Let's just get healthy. Let's just get healthy.
Let's
get this over with. But right. To me,
now speaking of
I'd
health,
wear double masks if it would hurry it up and get it over with.
Right. I have no problem. And by the way, one more thing, with all the fires that have gone around the western states, and now the smoke is actually traveling all across the country, almost going to Europe. I had to wear my mask the other day just because the air quality was so crappy. So
right.
It's not so tough. All right. Now what if you don't wear a mask, and God forbid you end up as one of the almost 200,000 people in America who have died?
Yeah.
Well, it appears that Tall Paul has done some producing.
I have been busy.
Yes. And you found some interesting headstones that we can share.
I came up with a group of headstones that I thought you guys would like to see, starting with this one, for rent. Very small, 1-bedroom, neighbors are dead quiet.
Right.
Now, that's had some, obviously that's been around a long time. Look at that thing, chipped and everything.
Yeah.
But that guy had a sense of humor, or female, whomever.
Now that's very funny. I like that one.
You like that one?
Let's move that one out.
All right. I want to see, you tell me which one you like the best. I think there's 8 of them. You picked your favorite?
I trimmed them down. I like that one pretty good. I kind of like this one as an interesting one. A headstone. Right. Oops. Can you see this one?
Oh, yeah, because he's not quite done yet.
Yeah.
I think that was the heading on that one. He's
right.
Still got it open. He's still coming back to life. I mean, I'm not sure who would do that, but that's pretty funny. You know.
Yeah,
that's
so we like that one pretty well.
Yeah.
Let me try it again. Find you one more. This one's very clever. This is a good husband and wife one.
Yeah.
So.
Oh, I love this one because I'm with stupid.
It's stupid.
I mean,
so they must have died close.
I guarantee you at Disney World, these guys wore those things as they walked along, T-shirts, and then now they're doing it in death, which is very funny.
No, it's very clever. I think that was my favorite. And I think we got one more, which I think is also very clever. But, if you're going to go out in style, Paul. So this one's cute.
Now this is my favorite. Na 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 na. Hey hey. Goodbye.
Yeah, because
that was the home run.
Well, so that one brings up kind of an interesting point to me when you sent these to me. What is your feeling when we're finally called to the pearly gates? Do you want an elaborate headstone, mausoleum, monument for Tall Paul Joseph, or would you be cremated like some people like, or what's your take? Do you care?
Well, I used to do a joke, and I don't have an ex-wife, but my joke used to be, I want to be cremated and have my ashes thrown in her face.
Oh,
just an ex-wife joke. Even though I don't have an ex-wife, you'll get a big laugh. So I love doing the joke. But I got you with that. Look at that.
No, hey, I've said, Tall Paul Joseph.
Yeah.
Funny.
Thank you. Well,
naturally funny.
But in sincerity, I am petrified of being, even though you're dead, being locked into something. You know what I mean? Like in a box.
Like claustrophobic.
Which is ridiculous because you're no longer there. Yeah. But the idea of it, I can't stand. And just as much, the idea of being burnt up. Yeah. So I don't know, I don't know. Is there another way out? Here's my thing. Yeah. Even being cryogenically frozen.
Oh, Jesus.
Has its limitations, but that might be the way to go.
Right.
That might be the way.
Yeah, I don't know my feelings on it.
What do you think?
I do think that when you pass away, your spirit goes to heaven, let's say, and your body vessel, to use some kind of weird cult-like term, your body vessel stays. And so, I just want to be buried in the ground with a nice little headstone,
Have you figured out what's going on your headstone yet?
How about this? Jack Silver, born, 1979.
Mm-hmm. Died whenever.
Died on this podcast, basically.
Lovely father and
loving husband, lovely father. Good. And by the way, hopefully then someone would come visit it once in a while, clean off the leaves, drop a couple of flowers on there, and remember us for down the road. So
that's a good thing.
That's about all I got.
On my headstone, I just put more to come.
Oh, that would be good.
Yeah, just leave it at that.
Yeah. All right. Well, those are the last of the visuals for today. But I thought, now we're as we're taping this, the 2020 Emmys are preparing to be part of the cultural landscape.
Oh boy, I plan to miss that.
Yeah. The only thing I read about the Emmys that made sense to me was it reminds us of the shows that we really liked before the whole COVID thing, because production has stopped on a lot of these shows.
Right.
And it has been a little bit not heartwarming to see some of your favorite shows.
Yeah.
But what I was going to ask you, Paul, because instead of saying who's going to win or lose, because these podcasts unfortunately live on forever.
Yeah, this could be 10 years down the road.
This thing could be in the Museum broadcast history. I doubt. All right. So, outstanding comedy series. Now, that's a category I'd be interested in. And so here are some of the nominees this year: Curb Your Enthusiasm, Dead to Me, The Good Place, Insecure, The Kaminsky Method, The Marvelous Mrs. Maisel, Schitt's Creek, and What We Do in the Shadows.
Ooh.
Which of those
do I like, or which ones do I think are going to win?
Forget who's going to win, because
okay, I would go with
who you like?
My favorites would be Dead to Me first.
Very good show.
Yeah, really good show. And then Schitt's Creek, and then Larry David, of course.
Right, and as you know, I'm not a big Larry David fan.
I know you're not, even though you are Larry David.
But
for some reason, you don't like. I guess it's because you emulate him in life that you don't want to be him.
Yeah, I see too much of myself in Larry David.
Yeah,
and I also, again, not to get critical because I'm not a TV writer. Why don't they just write the scripts? Why does everything have to be ad-libbed? You guys write a couple scripts like you did for Seinfeld. Funny
because Larry loves to. You see him laughing because he's being amused by what the person he's dealing with is saying, because he doesn't really know what they're going to say exactly. So I love to watch him actually laugh and think it's funny and be surprised.
Well, it's a good show. I think actually the Kaminsky Method with Michael Douglas is actually interesting if you've never seen it. And I would have to say Schitt's Creek, from start to finish as a series, and the final season should probably be top of the food chain, because so creative, and by the way, naturally funny, creatively funny, written very well. The characters are nuttier than
stellar. They're stellar. And the same thing with Dead to Me. I don't know if you've seen that, but.
No, is Dead to Me is that the one with Ricky Gervais?
Christina Applegate.
Oh, Christina Applegate.
Yeah, and she's phenomenal.
That's supposed to be a comedy?
Yeah, well, it is a comedy. It's a dark comedy, but it's really a great show. And if you haven't seen it, you should watch it. Once you start, it's like Lucifer. Once you start watching it, I don't know if you've seen Lucifer.
No, you told me about that.
Yeah, good shows.
Okay, outstanding drama series. So now you got the comedy on the one side, and I'm not the biggest drama guy because I'm a little uptight as it is. I don't need to be wound any tighter.
No, you're going to explode.
Better Call Saul, The Crown, The Handmaid's Tale, Killing Eve, The Mandalorian, Ozark, Stranger Things, and Succession. Which of those stand out to you, Paul? Which ones do you like?
Well, The Mandalorian and Succession, I'd say would be my two favorites out of that group. But I'm not a huge drama guy. I'm more of I like the dark comedies. I love comedy. I love horror.
Well, the dark comedy, that Ozark with what's his name?
Yeah,
Jason Bateman.
Jason Bateman.
You can't get any darker than that show, and that's very popular.
Yeah.
All right, let's go back. Let's keep going with comedy then. Outstanding lead actor in a comedy series: Anthony Anderson for Blackish, Don Cheadle, Black Monday, Ted Danson, The Good Place, Michael Douglas, The Kaminsky Method, Eugene Levy, Schitt's Creek, and Rami Youssef, Rami.
Well, Anthony Anderson is amazing.
He is.
As soon as I turn that on, I start laughing.
That's a great show. And by the way, to your point, it's effing funny. There's jokes in there.
Yes, it's
whatever happened. So I'm a big fan of that show.
But Eugene for Schitt's Creek, of course, too. But Anthony is off the hook.
Yeah, that Blackish show, and there's two. There's a Blackish, and there's another show like it.
I haven't seen that one yet.
Comes off that programming tree. Yeah, It's very well done. And again, my only point to all you guys: if you're going to do a comedy show, write some jokes.
There you go.
I don't want to be an old school guy, but write some jokes. God darn it! All right. And then on the outstanding lead actress in a comedy series, you got Christina Applegate, Dead to Me, Rachel Brosnahan, my girl from The Marvelous Mrs. Maisel, Linda Cardellini, Dead to Me. I guess she's the woman.
Oh yeah, I love her too. She's really good. She's the foil of Christina Applegate. And also best friend.
Catherine O'Hara, Schitt's Creek, Issa Rae, Insecure, and Tracy Ellis Ross from Blackish. She plays opposite Anthony. I would have to say, in that one, as far as comedy, again, I don't think you can beat that Catherine O'Hara of Schitt's Creek.
I think I have to go with her first.
I mean,
Yeah.
Paul, the shit she said, stuff she said.
Yeah, I'm laughing just thinking about it, and you are too.
Right. They put her in, and the writing is so clever.
Yeah.
And it's just so out there. And again, I think that's what you really want from a good comedy, to kind of take you away.
Yeah.
I don't need like realistic comedy or improv comedy, which I hate, because
Right.
improv means you forgot to write some jokes, is what it really
Yeah.
means to me.
Right.
So I think Catherine O'Hara will probably win that. I know we're not picking winners, but
We're not
that's
picking
my
winners,
favorite.
but we like her. We like her.
Yeah, and Mrs. Maisel is also great. And outstanding lead actress. Oh, and then outstanding lead actress in a drama. Now, let's not do that. I want to stay with the comedy stuff, which was
Let's stay with comedy.
And that's about all I got. And then as far as the, that's all we got. So that's your Emmys update. And I think the takeaway, Paul.
Yeah.
Tell some jokes, guys. Tell some freaking jokes.
Yeah. If you want to be talked about and you want to build your ratings, please tell some jokes.
and the last thing, to tie a bow around it, it is amazing though that almost none of those are CBS, NBC, ABC, except for Blackish.
Yeah.
How the landscape has changed with Netflix and HBO and Hulu and Amazon.
Wow.
The way people are ingesting television has really taken a turn.
Now listen, nothing that ABC, NBC, Fox, CW can't do. It's just that they've never done it. They've always had it their own way.
Yeah.
They'll do it their way and you'll like it or you won't watch TV, I guess.
Yeah.
But now there's so many outlets and these people, Netflix and Hulu, throwing huge money at these productions now. So it's Apple TV, all of this. So you got to get in on it.
Yeah, it seems like it's a great time for television production. Well, it would be a great time to be an actor or a grip or a technical director or a showrunner, except this COVID's put a little wrench in the works. But once the spigot opens up, the faucet reopens for production for television, it's going to really start going. So looking forward.
There's lots of work out there, and that'll be our next podcast. We'll get a few tips on how to get a job.
Ooh, in any specific field like broadcasting or?
More like porta potty.
Yeah, something with a future. All right, last thing
with legs.
You mean AM radio, AM 1610 is not a good place to be?
Yeah. Stay away from radio in general.
Hey, the best news of all is sports is blowing up, and it's everything from U.S. Open in golf to hockey to the NBA to Major League Baseball to college football and now the NFL. Last week when we talked about the NFL, I was off base because all I did was let's say a prayer that the season can actually complete itself. Yeah. And we didn't really get under the hood a little bit on who you think are going to do well, even after week one, with week one under its belt while we're taping this podcast.
Right.
All right. So like in the NFC East, the Washington Football Club, New York Football Giants, Dallas Cowboys, Eagles.
Out of that group?
Well, yeah, out of the NFC East. Who's going to win?
Well, Dallas will win that. Okay. Dallas will win that division.
I agree with that. In the NFC North, Bears, Packers, Vikings, Lions.
Bears, Packers, Vikings, Lions. I would think in that one the Packers are going to win it. Yeah. I think the Packers are going to surprise some people.
Well, I think the Packers are, and after only 1 week under our belts now, I mean, there's a lot of firepower on that team, and I've seen some good interviews with Aaron Rodgers, and he seems to be mellowing out. Like he is
more focused. He's always focused, but he's more focused on proving people wrong, and that's when he's at his best.
Good. NFC South: Saints, Panthers, Falcons, Bucks.
I'm a Saints guy. I believe the Saints are going to do it. Drew Brees, Kamara, Michael Thomas. I mean, they have the trifecta.
They really do. And I know that everyone's kind of rooting for Tom Brady. He'll probably have a pretty good season.
I think he will.
But you can't overlook Drew Brees and the Saints. They're too strong. And then to wrap up the NFC in the West, Arizona, Seattle, the Rams, and the 49ers.
Well, the 49ers should easily win that division. I mean, probably by 3 or 4 games, I would think, unless something goes completely haywire.
It's funny, but I'm picking the Seattle Seahawks. only because, whoa, and, don't choke on your hot water, Paul. And the only reason I'm doing that.
Why are you picking?
Oh, Russell Wilson. Yeah. Russell Wilson, you can't.
Well, he's amazing.
He's amazing.
He's a one-man show.
No, DK Metcalf. You got Chris Carson in the backfield. Maybe the defense. Anyway, all right. Well, good. That's what makes a good podcast, Paul. A little rub.
Yeah, a little rub.
Right.
Yeah. Well, I disagree with you. I don't think they're going. I think they have a great coach. I love Pete. I think Russell Wilson's amazing. I love his wife, Sierra. Yeah. But she can't help in this situation.
Oh, she can't come off the bench and do anything?
No, I think it'd be better off he get her, at least in the backfield,
right,
and hand it off to her a little bit. Then they got something. But without that, I can't see them doing as well as you think they're going to do.
All right.
We'll see.
All right. Let's go over to the AFC because there's been a lot of changes over there. So in the East, Patriots, Bills, Jets, Dolphins.
Oh, Bills.
I think so too.
Yeah.
I think the Patriots are going to be a lot more. They're going to surprise a lot of people with Cam Newton, and even though people think that is it all Bill Belichick? Was it Tom Brady? But the Buffalo Bills, if their quarterback Josh Allen can figure out how to actually hit a receiver,
I'm sure they're working on that as we speak.
I hope so.
Yeah, but the funny thing, before we go on, have you seen the new Bill Belichick commercial with Subway?
I have, but what's it about again?
It's very funny. He says very little, but the guy's carrying like some fried food dish.
Yeah.
And he just looks at him. He goes, really? And the guy throws it away. He goes, you're right. I should be eating Subway. And then he goes up to him and he cuts the sleeves on both of his shirts. Like he always does on his shirt. Yeah. And he says, now you look better.
Oh, okay, cool. Yeah. All right. Yeah. I'll have to look out for that.
Yeah.
AFC North, Ravens, Steelers, Bengals, Browns.
Oh,
I mean,
it's a very tough division, but because I like the Steelers a lot this year, but the Ravens are going to win that.
Yeah, they're just too tough. Yeah, when you've got Lamar Jackson as your quarterback, that helps. That gets you off to a good start. Let's just
that's a heck of a start.
All right, AFC South, Jacksonville, Tennessee, Houston, Indianapolis.
That is say that division again. So we got
Jacksonville Jaguars, Tennessee Titans, Houston Texans, and the Indianapolis Colts.
See, I think it's going to be Tennessee.
Huh. And I think it's going to be Houston.
Do you?
Yeah. I think I can see why you think Tennessee, because Tannehill did well. The running back, Derrick Henry's unbelievable. Yeah. But I just think that quarterback of the Texans, whose, of course, name escapes me now.
Watson?
Watson, sorry. Yeah. He's tough. So
he's very tough, but Tannehill, very impressive, coming on, playing straight up amazing ball. It's going to be a run for the finish there.
Yeah, that's a tough division. And then, of course, now here in the West, in the AFC West, Kansas City, Chargers, Raiders, Broncos.
You could have stopped after you said Kansas City.
I know, really. All right, and that's my pick, by the way. The Chiefs are my pick to return to the Super Bowl. And I know it's been 16 years since back-to-back Super Bowls have happened, but I think this is the year with that Patrick Mahomes and his cast of characters. I see, what do I like? Kansas City and Seattle in the Super Bowl.
Ooh.
And Kansas City.
You should make a bet on that one because you'll make a lot of money if that hits, let me tell you. But I think I'm going against you. I think the Kansas City will stumble.
Oh.
And I think that it's going to be between the Ravens and the Saints Super Bowl.
Ooh.
And I actually think that the Saints are going to pull it out.
Well, that would be amazing. And you know what? And here, that was as good of analysis as you can hear, Paul, because half of these people, even though they think they watch a lot of football or they think they follow the teams closely,
right?
Nobody knows. And that's the beauty of sports. And we'll look forward to a good season. And hopefully we get to the Super Bowl in Tampa safe and sound.
I hope so. It's going to be fun. Super Bowl 54, right?
55.
55?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, 55.
Is it?
In Tampa. All right. Well, here's the deal. And I hope I'm right. Subscribe, share the podcast, comment on it, post it on your Facebook, your Twitter feed, so we can get some more traction. We're actually picking up a good head of steam, Paul. And that's much.
We are. I'm proud of us.
Yeah.
What can I say?
Well, here's what we can say.
What?
Goodbye.